Welcome to the Rock Music Alliance interview sessions. I'm your host, Cole Coleman, and on our show today, an avant-garde solo artist known as the bass player for the Hollywood Vampires and The Cult. But he's also worked with Ozzy Osbourne, Alice Cooper, and the late, great Ace Frehley, and more. Welcome back to our show, Chris Wyse.
Thank you, Cole. Good to be back, man. Nice to see you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Now, Chris, you're here to update us on your latest release. But before we get to that, fill us in on your touring this past year. Did you get out on the road?
Oh yeah, I filled in for Alice Cooper's bass player Chuck Garrick. I've done that a few times now, where scheduling or for a couple times it was COVID over the years, and this time he had some other scheduling issues. So I jumped in, and our first show was opening up for My Chemical Romance at Philly Stadium in Philadelphia, and that was pretty wild to just walk out on stage in front of 40 some thousand people and just jump into the set.
Yeah, that's just got to be amazing. How do you feel about that? Like when you're going from working here in Los Angeles to just walking out onto a 40,000 audience, you know?
Well, it's happened a lot over the years for me. If, like I said, maybe five or six times with Alice Cooper. This time I had a little prep time. A couple times it was a phone call and like, can you leave tomorrow morning and go to London? Like that kind of thing. Because he got COVID. And so, there's a couple different experiences I've had where you just got to jump in the deep end and trust it's going to be pretty good. You're not going to be perfect, and the Alice Cooper show is really full of all kinds of props and things, and just knowing where to stand in that gig is a part of the thing. You have to really be sharp, and then the music's the whole other thing. But I've done it a lot. There was a group called Camp Freddy I got called in for. It's called something else now. I forget what they're called. But like all-star bands call me and they're like, "Here's the set list, 18 songs. See you in 2 days. You got to sing this and that and the other thing." So, I've done a lot of cramming. I'm a music teacher. I've been teaching bass, and it just keeps me sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be sharp to be doing what you're doing. And that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, well, the last time that I saw you on stage was with Crossbone Skully and
Right.
Tommy Henriksen's band in Hollywood at the Viper Room. Any updates on Skully?
Well, I was just with Tommy not that long ago doing some Alice Cooper shows, and he was playing me some of his new song ideas and stuff. And if you're a fan of what you heard so far, I think you're going to be a big fan of what's coming, because it's Tommy's really developed into this lead singer character in Crossbone Skully even more, and the songs were really catchy. And yeah, I was really happy to see Tommy's prolific. He's constantly writing and working.
Yeah, he sure is. And he was quite the front man. I was very kind of surprised, but it was an extremely polished show. He was excellent on stage. So I'm looking forward to another show. It's going to be great.
Yeah, thanks. The show was really polished. We worked really hard. We rehearsed quite a bit for like a couple weeks or something, and really worked at it. So things were super tight, super punchy. Um, it was a great experience, and the Viper Room was a great venue. We did two shows, 2 nights sold out over there, which was great.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Besides that, any tour dates coming up with Alice or the Hollywood Vampires?
N Nothing I can speak of yet. I do know the vampires are kind of trying to nail down some stuff, because there's that movie coming out. If you look up Unleashed Spirits on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, you'll find clips of it, and it's going to be a series, as opposed to just one movie. It's going to be like a series of shows to make up the whole documentary, and that's coming up. And yeah, I just talked to one of the managers and everything about touring. Fingers crossed, you know what I'm saying? Those guys have pretty intense schedules, so that's probably the big problem with it right now, where um, they're honing in on some open spaces to do it. But
Gotcha,
that's all I
gotcha.
can say right now. I don't want to spill any beans because things change a lot. Yeah.
Gotcha. Corey, we'd love you to spill beans. That's what we're here for. That's
Yeah.
great, man. That's great. Well, your own solo music is amongst the most unusual that I've ever heard.
Oh,
And
thank you.
yeah, it's a wonderful combination. It's very accessible, so it's not like totally bizarre or strange, but it is unusual, that's for sure. It's dark, avant-garde, alternative rock style, which I love, and rich in textures, rich and unusual textures. For the listeners, tell us what instruments you're playing that feature you on recordings that gets all that texture.
Well, the concept is for me to do a solo album and feature a lot of my bass playing at my avant-garde sort of approach to things where I'm playing upright bass with a bow. There's wah-wah and overdrive on it. It's almost has like a guitar-esque expression, but the bow and the fretless upright bass, I mean, this one right here has been a game changer because I've been so easily transporting it around. It sounds amazing. This is the Ned Steinberger design company, NS Design. They're making violins and violas, cellos, and basses, and it's a big treat because getting this guy around and getting that amplified and everything's a whole other challenge, right? Um, so what I'm doing is electrifying my electric upright and playing through like effects and things like that. There's very little guitar on my stuff. On this track, I doubled the bass with a guitar track just to fill it out a little more sonically. But what you're hearing is sort of a concept song on this new one, Being Evil. It's about Evel Knievel. And I started playing like these motorcycle distorted revving kind of sounds on the upright. And because it's fretless and all that, it really sounds like a motorcycle. And I sort of scrape with the bow for changing gears and been doing all this kind of really expressive stuff. But my goal is that a non-musician can enjoy it, as opposed to like say a jazz fusion type of bassist that puts out a very intense, notey kind of soloing kind of record. I love all that, but I think you lose a lot of listeners. So my goal is to keep you involved and engaged, even as a non-musician, and go, "Gosh, this sounds like a movie soundtrack," or "This is taking me on a journey." And then it's allowing me to express all these wild ideas from the bass. And not going over anyone's head too much, you know what I mean? Like that I want people to enjoy it of all types.
I think you achieve that. Like I say, it's very unusual, but it's still accessible. It's still like I say, if you like alternative, dark rock, this is going to be good. And
Yeah.
yeah, very artful stuff. Now you've been releasing your own music since 2022 that I can see, and
Hmm.
7 releases total, including the new release, and with favorites like Black Owl, Jack, and Haunted Bass. And
Yeah, thanks.
yeah, yeah. And but just before we take a listen, tell us again what the inspiration is. You say it's being evil, you know?
Yeah. Evel Knievel was like a big thing when I was a kid. They had the little wind-up motorcycle, and Evel Knievel did all kinds of, one of the most famous daredevils of all time, and he rode a Harley. It wasn't some modern bike. I mean, what he did was insane, and the Evel Knievel stories are really, really outrageous stuff, if you go into him. And what you're hearing is when I'm talking and sort of doing a mock interview, it's some of the famous quotes that Evel Knievel had in sort of the pre-chorus. And the chorus is it really pops. And I had Tommy Henriksen sing some high harmonies on that. And Dan Dinsmore's on drums. He's from my band Owl, we're kind of on a hiatus right now, and this is why I'm doing this kind of bass centric, intensive stuff, and just kind of letting my creativity go wherever I want without worrying about a band, because obviously I'm playing several basses at once. So I'm just layering things and having a lot of fun with the writing process and doing things that are unusual, that don't fit into the norm.
Let's take a sample listen. Here's about a minute and a half of Being Evil on the Rock Music Alliance. That was Chris Wise's new release, Being Evil, on the Rock Music Alliance. Now, you mentioned the players on there. Did we get them all? You got Tommy Henriksen on there. You got Dan Dinsmore.
On drums, and all the layers are me playing bass and stuff. And I'm
Excellent.
singing, I sing and
Yeah.
basically a tight little unit there.
Yeah. Now you said that's you on the speaking overdubs.
Yeah, I kind of did my best to. I kept listening to Evel Knievel, some of his famous interviews and things like that, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he
When
would
I
he would they would ask him questions like, do you ever get scared? And he's like, I'm not supposed to be afraid. Do you know the hell I am? He's like, I'm Evil Knievel's. One funny thing about Evil Knievel is he changed the spelling because he thought he didn't want to sound too evil. So he changed it Evel and changed his name to Evil Knievel without the I, which I guess in his mind softened the evilness of his name.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. He didn't, I mean, the way I take it is, yeah, he didn't want to be truly evil,
right?
but loved the sound of that name.
Like a badass. Yeah,
It's great stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't thought about evil in a while. I too grew up in that same era. But yeah, when I was a kid and you heard about Evil Knievel doing the jump, it was thrilling.
It was a
It's
big
like,
deal.
it was a big
Yeah,
deal. Yeah. And
yeah.
I remember I was a really tiny kid when he jumped I can't remember how it was, but when he jumped I guess the fountains at Caesar's Palace.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that it in Vegas? Yeah.
Yeah, in Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible stuff. Kind of a rock star on the motorcycle,
Oh,
and that's it
absolutely.
really inspired me to. I started playing those sounds and stuff, and I went, "Oh, I got to write something about Evil Knievel." I mean, and sort of, my record's not really done. It's been peeling out slowly. I plan on doing a few more, and I'm thinking about who else I'd write about. Um, Other musicians, other actors, or I'm sort of developing my next few ideas. Where, for example, I could take anybody and write a song about them, whether they're, I could write a song about Gene Simmons if I wanted or whatever. So I'm playing around with ideas, to complete my record. And then you'll see it all come out. Hopefully, I got a few more to do. So in the next couple of years, it'll be all done.
Yeah, I mean,
Ow.
you're at seven. It's like you almost have enough for a set. You could
Right.
for a solo
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great to see you do your own show.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to find ways to do it, but there's always a way to kind of balance things out. Obviously, you pick the most prominent parts and stuff, and so obviously, when there's a bow line, that would probably happen, and maybe I'd have keys or something helping me. Yeah, so I've been thinking about that, and all the visuals. You probably notice I have artwork for every song, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I was going to mention the artwork again on this one is real impressive. Captures the spirit. But yeah, it's go take a look at Chris's releases, guys. Check out that artwork as well. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
One,
Um,
one, one, one thing I like about the people you play, perform with, Crossbone Skully as well as Alice Cooper, is they give you your own spotlight. You're such an innovative and interesting player that they give you a solo spot.
Yeah, yeah, that's when I first got into the vampires, I was a little nervous about bringing the upright bass in, and we rehearsed a day or two already, and I brought it in, and I said I want to show you guys something, and Johnny, Alice, and Joe uh, were like, okay, cool, and I went into this like back room and pulled out the upright bass, and they're like, whoa, and I started playing stuff on it for them, and they were like, "We got to use that." So it shows how open they are. Some artists are they're very in the box. We only do what we do, and these guys are very artistic. I used it on Heroes, which ended up being a big song that Johnny Depp sang, and Tommy really digs it. I did like a bow solo, and I'm the Wolf live, and it's just part of what I do, and it's fun to kind of utilize those different sounds in a rock band because you don't really see upright bass and much hard rock, especially.
And what's really cool is that it fits. It really fits. Like with Alice Cooper and with with Crossbone Skully. It
I actually don't play with Alice Cooper. His set's all bass guitar, but and
oh
again with Alice, people will go like, "Don't you know all that stuff already?" And it's the Hollywood Vampire is a very distinctly different band. You know what I mean? So when they go,
Yeah.
don't you know all that stuff already? And like
Oh,
Alice
I
has like
think
something like 30 albums. There's no way I know all his stuff, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah,
he
I think
changes the set every year. So you know, I just fill in for the Alice Cooper band when Alice needs me. But the Hollywood Vampires really, I did a bass guitar solo at the last tour, which was cool, where the teeth would come down and the smoke was coming up, and I got a full on ripping bass guitar solo, which was cool. Which that was like Tommy and Alice's idea and stuff. So yeah, they're really really cool.
yeah, it was the Vampires tour that was in my mind. Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
because Alice is in both of them. He fronts both, so it kind
Yeah,
of
some people
got
get
blurred.
confused about it. Like, don't you know all that stuff? And I'm like, how would I know all that stuff? Like, I have to hunker down when I jump into Alice Land versus, you know, the Hollywood Vampires. It's just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
two totally different gigs, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, back to being evil. So there is some fretted bass in there, right?
I did a bass guitar bed track, and I doubled. I got a Les Paul or something, and doubled the line to widen it up a little. Yeah, so there's one bass guitar track that plays down the song, and then on top, I'm doing layers of bow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
what I caught in there, with my mind, taking its journey in your song, that pattern that you're playing is kind of an irregular, bass pattern, and I immediately equated it to the idol of a Harley Davidson.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh
sounds
cool.
it sounds just like a Harley, dun 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 dun, the irregular.
It's really fast. It's extremely fast. Like my right hand felt like it was gonna fall off when I laid down the main track. Man, it's really fast. But I
Oh, that's
love that
cool.
physical kind of play. I like to sweat when I play and dig in.
In addition to your solo music, it looks like you're also doing a duo these days. Can you tell us
Mhm.
about that?
Aro Rose, she has this new song out now on all formats. You can find it on YouTube, and it's we have a new video done. We did a big video premiere at three clubs on Vine here in Hollywood, and there was a red carpet and everything. It was really really fun, and there was a vampire themed party. So we had a lot of people were dressed up. We had a lot of fun with the night. We had an open bar. We had food. We had Evan Stanley played with his band Amber Wild, Paul Stanley's son. After we performed the song, she played it on a grand piano. I played upright bass. We had Nolly Colt from Vintage Trouble and Ryan Brown from Dweezil Zappa join us. So we played the song live. It's called Heal Me. And then we showed the video, and it really was like a Hollywood production, really, really cool. And I'm featured in that song. And we're collaborating on some new material, trying to find some new uh, fun concepts. We just saw the Frankenstein movie, and we're kind of feeding off that after we kind of did a vampire theme and um, crossing over our sound. She's got a beautiful voice. She's very talented. She really oversaw everything quite well. I was really impressed with the video and the production of the night and everything. It was really cool. And there's a little bit of acting in the beginning and the end, and there's a lot of shit going on in there. That's really cool.
Let's take a sample of this video. Here's Aro Rose featuring Chris Wyse on the Rock Music Alliance.
Love shouldn't be this hard to find, but I know these things take time. I try to be strong, but my life feels so wrong. I'm hurting inside, I'm trying to fight, but nothing here feels right. I'm broken, I'm hurting, I'm damaged because of you. Please come heal me, please come save me, please come help me from myself. Please come heal me, please come save me, please come help me. Please come heal me, please come save me, please come help me from myself. Please come heal me, please come save me, please come help me from
That looks great, Chris. The quality of the filmmaking just looks top notch. We'll have to get Aro on to talk about it. In our phone call recently, you mentioned that you might be hosting a night. Can you tell us about that?
Well, we're kind of maybe picking up from our video premiere night and me sort of curating the night with Amanda. Well, we'd perform a set. There'd be like a goth vampire theme. You have to be dressed up to come in. Might have some sponsors, like alcohol sponsors, food sponsors, things like that. And then not so much like the jam nights that become very popular in Hollywood, where there's like 50 people playing. It's going to be more of a tight unit where we put together a small group with a couple special guests, like violin or bagpipes. It's going to be much more eclectic. It might rock hard at times too, but and then the other bands and the way the night would go would maybe be acoustic, maybe a magician, maybe burlesque dancers, classy and very fun.
Sounds like a great time. And what club is that at?
Well, we're talking about the three clubs right now. We did it there first, so we might want to go back there again. And I've been talking to them about it. So we got to kind of put together a little bit of a blueprint, which we have, and then probably next year we were thinking about maybe doing a residency or something like once a month,
Sounds good. I know the three
something like
clubs.
that. It's the clay is being shaped still, but something like that.
God, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, three clubs for anybody listening. That's they've changed. I haven't been back there since they've. It must be new ownership, right? They've redesigned
No,
the
no,
room and everything.
there's a collab going on with Sawtooth, which is a musical instrument company here in Hollywood. Friends of mine, Joe Fiuco and Mark Smith owns it, and Joe Fiuco sort of it's a collab where it's a Sawtooth. The name of his company is being promoted, and his instruments are all there, and there's like showroom with all these guitars and basses and percussion. It's really cool, really cool.
Sounds great. Well, I know they're getting a lot more attention in this past year. It looks like a great room to be in.
Yeah, yeah, it's been great. It's been great. So, yeah, the Amanda Rose, Amanda Arrow is her initials. She goes by Arrow on stage. So, um, just a really special voice. I met her at Sue Wong had a big party. She's a fashion designer here in Hollywood, and it was a big, you know, a lot of celebrities and famous musicians were there. And Amanda and I met, and she was telling me about that she's an artist and everything. And then just recently, I was in New York City, and she said, "Would you play on my track?" And I happened to be there, and I had my electric upright with me and everything. And I listened to it, and I went, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Can you do something spooky?" And I went, "Oh yeah, yes I can. I can do it." And I thought, this is great. And I like getting out of the box of like, the hard rock realm I've been in most of my career. So she's more of a contemporary. People have been asking me, what would you say she is? And I say she's like a Adele, but like darker,
Hmm.
little more on the dark side, where I've been taking it with her. And yeah, we're collaborating on some pretty cool new ideas, almost
Yes.
gothic tinges, just like the song we did called "Heal Me."
Yeah, yeah, it's terrific. Yeah, I'll be checking her out, and hopefully we can get her on the Rock Music Alliance for a show. That'd be good.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's pause briefly here for a word from our sponsor, and when we come back, I'm going to ask Chris about remembering Ozzy Osbourne and the very recently departed Ace Frehley. We'll be right back. Attention guitar players, the Thimble Slide allows you to slide and fret, freeing your slide finger. The Thimble Slide is a mini guitar slide designed to be worn on the tip of your finger, about halfway down your fingernail. When worn there, you can still bend your finger, and most importantly, it's allowing enough of your fingertip through so you can still press the guitar strings. With its patented shape, you can slide and fret while wearing the Thimble Slide. Visit thimbleslide.com. That's thimbleslide.com.
Hey guys, you're listening to Soren Anderson, Glenn Hughes guitar player, owner of Medley Studios Copenhagen, and you are listening to Rock Music Alliance.
We're back with Chris Wyse on the Rock Music Alliance. Time for just maybe one more or two more here, Chris. And in the last 3 months, we lost rock legends Ozzy Osbourne and very, very recently Ace Frehley, and who you worked with and really knew. So would you share with us some parting thoughts and memories about Ozzy and Ace?
Well, the one interesting thing about both of them that they're both gone now, and reflecting on them is they were both genuine, unique characters. I don't. Ace was never acting. I knew Ace, in a working environment and on stage and in the studio and shooting videos and traveling the world with him. But also we had a lot of fun hanging out as friends. Like he used to live in San Diego, and I'd spent a lot of time down there working on the album. And he was the engineer. He was recording my bass. So it was a lot of fun. The one thing about Ace that was really special was he felt like one of the boys, even though he was a superstar, one of the biggest guitar players of all time. He felt like one of the guys. He didn't give you that kind of he was very humble and down to earth, but he knew what he was as well too. He knew what he had guitar wise, and he had a lot of special talent. But Ace was wonderful, man. He made me feel very welcome. I left the cult and joined his band, which was kind of a huge leap of faith at the time. And he really pursued me being in the band, and he short little story was, he saw I was in a bit of pain on stage, and there was a doctor that was showing up to give us B12 shots, and I said, "Can you check it? This little bump I got," and it was it was a hernia. I found out what it was, and it was a pretty bad one. And Ace was like, "Well, you got to get a surgery. Who's going to take care of you?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "All your family's in New York, and he's like, "I'll take care of you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that would be amazing." I hooked up with his doctor. He drove me to the surgery in his Bentley. He picked me up and, wheeled me out in a wheelchair and put me in the Bentley. And I stayed with him for like 3.5 months, and he watched me and helped me heal. And, that's a different kind of relationship. And it was really, really special. And I felt fortunate. I got to go to the wake a couple weeks ago and say goodbye, because he got me at a real special, important time in my life where I needed some sort of transition and a change. And he came along and really mentored me. After all the stuff he went through with Kiss, and I've gone through a lot in my career, he helped me kind of screw my head on straight and move forward in a new way. It was really cool. And Ozzy was a sweetheart, more of a professional relationship. I did that album with Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains and Mike Borden. And I was very blessed to get brought into recording Undercover. It came out on 2 releases, so I returned to do more after the first release, which was a box set on Prince of Darkness. Then it came out as a whole record on Undercover. And man, he was a lot of fun. I mean, and he loved the bass. I've told these stories, but he would be like, "Chris, you're gonna effing love me, mate, because I want the bass really loud and I want more of those riffs." And he loved when I found my little kind of spots, because I've been doing it a long time. You kind of avoid stepping on the guitar or the drums or the vocal, and you find your spots. And every time I did something, he would look over and get all excited. So they were so genuine, the two of them, so honestly who they were. A lot of people in the biz kind of have an act, and these guys, I'd have to say my feeling was off of them. There was no acting. It was just exactly who they were. If they did some rock star stuff, it wasn't an act. It was just who they were and stuff like that. But I had a lot of fun with both of them. Ace and I had a little more of a personal relationship, so that hit a little bit hard, this recent loss. But what an amazing guy. I don't think anyone can touch him when it comes to the whole package of what he put out there to the world, kind of untouchable. Both of those guys are untouchable, man.
Yeah, they sure are. Yeah, they reached a level of stardom that can never be nobody can ever be bigger or more famous. They might be equaled, maybe, but
Right. Doesn't
yeah,
get any bigger.
it doesn't get any bigger than those guys. But great to hear that it's very genuine as well.
Yeah, I mean, I one particular memory flying back, we were already on tour with the Ace band, and Paul Stanley had done a track on Origins One. I did some stuff on Space Invader and a lot of stuff on Origins One. Paul sang on it, and I had previously worked with Paul, and there was kind of a victorious moment where Paul did the vocal on the track, and then he found out I was playing bass, and Paul was like, "Oh, that's great, Chris is on it," and all this stuff because I knew both of them, and Paul kind of agreed to doing the video, and we were already on tour in Florida, and we had one day off, and we flew back to LA to shoot the video at the Roxy, and it was a great. We were exhausted because we just started a tour, and now we just left to go shoot a video, and then back to the tour. But I'll never forget the look on Ace's face when we sat down on the plane toasted because we were grinding to get all this done. But we were all so happy. Like, what an amazing. That was the first time they worked together in 18 years, Paul and Ace. And to be a part of that and kind of feel like family with everyone was just, yeah, I'll never forget that. And how happy Ace looked, because we all know, I think underneath it, we all know that everyone kind of wanted to see him back with Kiss at some point in some way, you know. So it's just tragic now. There's no possibility of any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just have to
Great,
savor,
great,
just have to
great
savor
guy
what
though.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Great guy. I
Well,
mean, how many rock stars would take care of their bass player for like a month, feeding him in bed and letting me recover? Because, a hernia is pretty serious. And I was like, how did I get this with the doctor? And he's like, you've been lugging around bass amps, jumping around stage like your whole life. Like, how do you think you got it? It's like, so that's what happened. I've been very physical my whole life. Now I'm starting to be a little more careful on stage. If you just throw yourself into it, you don't think about your body, and then it catches up a little bit with your neck and back and all that. And it's like a sport.
Absolutely. I've often told people, I was a player myself, hope to get back to doing that as well. Being a working musician is a lot like being an athlete. You've got to be physically in shape, and you got to be, and you're working all the time. A lot of energy comes pouring out of you when you're on stage. It's a lot of energy that's spiritual energy that's being poured out,
Mhm.
and you're doing it night after night after night. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's something you got to be ready for. You can't just jump right in. You got to warm up into it.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I was out playing, we were working between 4 and 5 nights a week, all year long, and a lot like a touring band. And when we had times where there was a week off, and we'd get back in the following week, you could feel it. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you'd
Oh,
get
yeah.
you'd do your first night after a week off, and you're like, oh my God, So,
Yeah.
like I said, you
Yeah.
got to be every day, every day you
Yeah.
got to be physically in shape and keep yourself in shape.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do. And it's when you get older, you realize it more and more. You're like, oh, I didn't feel this before. And now, take those days off and recover, take a long hot bath,
Yeah.
get some room service and stay in and get ready for the next night.
I'm curious since Ace was very familiar with your condition. Did he mention at all? Did he have a hernia at one point as well, or maybe some of the guys in Kiss?
Well, he had an experience too, so that's why he said, "I know this doctor," and uh, so what it was just a really wonderful friend type of gesture and thing to do for me, because I needed to. I live in like a tree house up in the hills, so I wouldn't have been able to recover here where I'm at.
Yeah, it's terrific, man. It's
Would have
terrific.
been really difficult to get up and down the stairs where I'm at. So he was like, "Who's going to take care of you? I'm going to take care of you. Get my insurance, get my doctor. You're going to stay with me." And I was like, God, this is just kind of wonderful.
Absolutely terrific, man.
So I'm very blessed to have those experiences with Ozzy and Ace.
Well, Chris, that brings us to the end of our show today. I want to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, and
Thank you.
For people listening, you can keep in touch with Chris at chriswyse.com. That's ChrisWyse, chriswyse.com. And of course, on social media. Chris, thanks for being our guest today on the Rock Music Alliance.
Thank you, Cole. And thanks for saying my name right, everyone. There's 50% of the people say Weiss, and that's not how to pronounce it. Old English, Wise.
I'm Cole Coleman, and for the Rock Music Alliance and the RMA Awards, thanks for watching and listening. Visit us at rockmusicalliance.com and check out this year's RMA Awards for rock, metal, and progressive rock music.